Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Yesterday Manchester United beat Melbourne Victory 4-1. Erik Ten Hag has won his first two pre-season games. Manchester United came from a goal down yesterday. Melbourne Victory took a shock lead. Scott McTominay equalised for Manchester United. Scott McTominay's goal was deflected. Scott McTominay has been part of the club for a long time. You know, he came up our academy. Revert back to 2020, he committed his future to the club because he signed a 5-year contract. In the game yesterday, McTominay had a few deflected efforts. We saw Anthony Martial score for Manchester United. That was his second goal in 2 games because Martial also scored in the 4-0 win against Liverpool in Bangkok. I think Martial will be staying at Manchester United now. Don't forget last season he was out on loan with Sevilla. Martial's been at Manchester United since 2015. Man United did get Martial from Monaco. So Martial's been at the club for around 7 years. The best season though Martial endured was his debut season under Louis van Gaal. He did score on his debut in that 3-1 win against Liverpool. Martial's under contract with Man United till 2024. Yesterday, Marcus Rashford scored for Manchester United. It was a good composed finish. Eric Bailly was the provider for Marcus Rashford's goal. I'm hoping Rashford can have a good season. You know, Rashford is a good young player overall, but for me, he hasn't been the same player since he had that operation on his shoulder. Rashford missed the first 2 months of last season with that shoulder problem. Earlier on this year, Rashford rejected a move to Tottenham. Rashford's already made it clear that he wants to stay at Manchester United. Rashford's contract expires next year. He has been part of the club for a long time. He came up our academy. He has been a United player since the age of 7 and he broke into our senior squad back in 2016. Manchester United's 4th goal was an own goal. Tahith Chong put the ball into the box and one of the Melbourne Victory players put it into the back of the net. But yeah, Manchester United were very dominant yesterday. Could have had more than 4 goals. Bruno Fernandes actually had a good chance that produced a good save from the Melbourne Victory goalkeeper. Manchester United's next pre-season game is Crystal Palace. But Erik Ten Hag has enjoyed a good start to his managerial career at Manchester United, and I have said that I've got a lot of faith in Ten Hag because he is a good manager. You've got to admire what he did when he was at Ajax, because when he was at Ajax he won Eredivisie titles, he won Dutch Cups. Revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. And he developed the young players well. Ten Hag was the Ajax manager for around 5 years. Before, Ten Hag managed Utrecht, Bayern Munich's reserves and Go Ahead Eagles. Don't forget though, this is the first ever time that Ten Hag is managing in the Premier League, and I've said so many times recently that the Premier League is totally contrast to the Dutch league. Earlier on this year, it got officially announced that Man United appointed Ten Hag as the new manager. Ten Hag replaced Ralf Rangnick. Erik Ten Hag's got a contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option to extend for a further year. Mitchell van der Gag and Steve McLaren are working alongside Ten Hag at Man United. So far, Ten Hag has made 2 signings as the Manchester United manager. Man United recently signed Christian Eriksen on a 3-year contract. Man United did get Christian Eriksen on a free transfer. We'll revert back to the other week. It said that Christian Eriksen had verbally agreed to join Man United. I think he'll do well at Man United. The second half of last season, Christian Eriksen had a loan spell with Brentford. Brentford got Eriksen back in January. When he officially signed for Brentford, he signed a 6-month contract. Before, Christian Eriksen's played for Inter Milan. Before he was at Tottenham, he was a very long-serving player at Tottenham. So he's proven in the Premier League, Eriksen, which is beneficial. And when Eriksen was younger, he played for Ajax. Well, he began his playing career at Ajax. Revert back to the Euros. Christian Eriksen collapsed because he suffered a heart attack. A lot of people are saying Eriksen's not going to be the same player since he had that, heart attack. And not so long ago, Manchester United signed Tyrell Malaysia from Feyenoord. We got him for around 13 million. Tyrell Malaysia signed a contract until 2026. There's an option to extend for a further year. Tyrell Malaysia is a left back, so you can say he is the replacement for Alex Telles. Tyrell Malaysia did come on and make his debut in the 4-0 win against Liverpool in Bangkok. We've seen players leave Manchester United this year. Not so long ago, Andres Pereira left. Andres Pereira went to Fulham. Last season, Andres Pereira went out on loan to Flamengo. And at one point, he was out on loan with Lazio. Not so long ago, Dean Henderson went out on loan to Nottingham Forest. Earlier on this year, we saw Lee Grant retire. Matic left Man United this year. Matic went to Roma, so he's reuniting with Jose Mourinho. Not so long ago, Paul Pogba left Man United on a free transfer. Paul Pogba went back to Juventus. Earlier on this year, we saw Jesse Lingard leave the club. Juan Mata also left Manchester United. And earlier on this year, we saw Edison Cavani leave the club. So they're the players that have left this year, and more players are on their way out of the club, like I've already mentioned. Alex Telles is on his way out, especially with Man United signing Terrell Malaysia. Phil Jones is on his way out of the club. I initially thought Eric Bailly was going to be leaving, but now Eric Bailly is staying. Harry Maguire, I think he'll leave next year. He'll stay for this year. Dalot and Bissaka, I think will leave the club, maybe next year. Lindelof and Fred could be leaving next year. Ronaldo could leave next year. I don't think he'll leave this year because obviously Ronaldo will want to play under Ten Hag. Ronaldo's missed Man United's first 2 pre-season games due to family issues. Not so long ago, Ronaldo missed quite a few days of training because of the family issues. Well, not so long ago, Eric Ten Hag said that Cristiano Ronaldo is in our plans for the new season and he's not for sale. But the other week, Ronaldo told Manchester United he wants to leave this summer as he was actually unhappy over the lack of progress with transfers. But Man United at that point did insist that Ronaldo wasn't for sale. Number of clubs have been in for him. Chelsea have been in for him. He was offered to PSG. Bayern Munich have been in for him. Barcelona have made inquiries. Roma have been in for him, and his former club Sporting Lisbon have been in for him. Ronaldo's contract at Man United expires next year. There's an option to extend for a further year. Ronaldo's the highest earner at the club because he earns 480 grand a week. Man United re-signed Ronaldo last year from Juventus. Since Ronaldo re-signed, he's got 18 goals in the Premier League. He has 24 goals in all competitions. Earlier on this year, he won the Goal of the Season award and he got named the Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year. Ronaldo's got a very good pedigree as a player. He's won over 30 trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. So there you go. Like I've said to you, I hate the way the football club has been run for a long time. You know, the Glazers have been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. Earlier on this year, don't forget, the Glazers taken out 11 million for dividends. For a while, the vast majority of Man United fans were protesting against the Glazers. The Glazers have owned the club for around 17 years. They bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. Don't forget, Manchester United have got Richard Arnold and John Murtough. You know, they're doing very good business in this transfer window. Was it back in February? Richard Arnold replaced Ed Woodward. Ed Woodward stepped down after like 17 years. And John Murtough is Man United's director of football. We've seen 5 managers leave Manchester United since Ferguson, because obviously we saw David Moyes get sacked after 10 months. And then obviously we had Van Gaal for around 2 years. Man United sacked him. We had a good start under Louis Van Gaal era, then obviously it all went downhill. Man United did win the FA Cup under Louis Van Gaal, and after that we had Jose Mourinho for around 2.5 years. You can say Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season. Mourinho wasn't so good in his second season, and then after Mourinho, Man United had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He got sacked in November last year. Solskjaer was the Man United manager for almost 3 years. Despite him getting sacked though, we'll still always adore Solskjaer because he is a legend of the club. And after Solskjaer, Manchester United had Ralph Rangnick. Rangnick left Man United earlier on this year, so reflecting on that, it said Ralph Rangnick would not take up the consultancy role at Man United. Rangnick actually got appointed in as the new Austria head coach. Rangnick though was Man United's interim manager for around 5 months or so. So there you go. Man United have not won the Premier League since 2013. That's nearly 10 years ago now. We've got to accept that no one's going to replicate what Sir Alex Ferguson did at the club. You know, Alex Ferguson was greatest manager of all time. When he was the Man United manager, Ferguson, he won around 38 trophies, including 13 Premier League titles. So reflecting on that, he brought success to the club, but Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Ferguson was a very long-serving manager at Man United. He was the Man United manager for around 26 years. You know, Ferguson retired almost 10 years ago. So there guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes, on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.